Hey, this is Pastor Matthew Best. I serve as pastor of St. Stephen Lutheran Church in New Kingstown, Pennsylvania, and I'm excited to be teaching a class called Living Evangelism, and I'm really excited to have a partner in crime in this.
Yes, indeed. Your partner in crime is Sister Ingrid Anderson. I'm the priest in charge at St. Luke's Episcopal Church. I'm an Anglican priest from South Africa, where we do evangelism really well. So, Matthew, I have to ask a question. You know, there's one word I can use to make Episcopalians look at their shoes very closely, and that word is evangelism. So, why are we teaching a course on evangelism? Says she with her floppy Bible.
Right, because everybody thinks about Everybody thinks about evangelism as the televangelist and going around knocking on doors and saying, "Have you found Jesus?" Because apparently Jesus has been lost or something. And and if you don't believe, you're going to hell and all this type of stuff. And yeah, that makes all mainline folks really uncomfortable. And so this is the reason why we need to talk about evangelism, because there's this perception about what evangelism is, and then there's the reality of how we live out evangelism, and it's far different than what those perceptions are. And so we're going to take some time to talk about this. We're going to do it in a variety of ways, but I want to just say that for me, when I think about evangelism, to give people a sense of how this is a little bit different, is I think in terms of, Doctor Who. This is my one of my favorite characters of all time. And Tom Baker is my favorite doctor. And the neat thing of why, Doctor Who and evangelism, how does that go together? Really simple. Doctor Who goes somewhere, integrates himself into a community, and has inquisitiveness, has curiosity, has communication and listening, and does some crazy stuff with people and has fun. I mean, how often do we think about the idea of fun with evangelism? And yet when I think about Jesus with the disciples and he calls them to go out, often we think about the serious nature of that. But my gosh, if they didn't have fun when they were going out in this crazy way or not so crazy ways, people would not have listened. It's just that simple, right? I mean, yeah. Are you more likely to listen to people who are having fun or people who are always serious and threatening and all this other type of stuff?
And Matthew, one of the things that really strikes me is that Doctor Who, and I have to say, the best Doctor is the 10th Doctor, and I will hear nothing about David Tennant, so just got to say that. One of the things he does really well is go out and build relationships with people. And we were having this really great conversation about the nature of evangelism, starting with individual discipleship, moving through relationship and community building and into leadership development. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is really the essence of what evangelism is about. It starts with us. It starts with us individually as disciples. And because it's the foundation, right? We're talking about, we are temples of the Holy Spirit, and God's law and love is written into us. And from that very core is how we start to live it out. And it starts to go outward. And it starts with the idea of community, those around us, however we're defining community. And when we're in community, there's a sense of trust, there's a sense of belonging, there's a sense of vision as well. And then you get into this idea of this role of leadership. And what is leadership about? Leadership isn't always about you're going to do this, that, and the other thing, about directing. Oftentimes leadership is also saying, this is what I hear about the community, what the vision of this community is. Is this the right words? So putting words to what is already there, and also taking risk, being the first to try something, because trying something new is really scary for people. They don't necessarily know how to do things. They don't necessarily know why or what to say, or they're worried about, they got to have it perfect, all those type of things. Leadership is going out and saying, look, I'm going to do this with you, and you're going to do this with me, and we're going to screw up, And that's okay, because we're doing this together. And it becomes this a much safer way to actually go out and live evangelism. And it's not this directed type of thing where, you know, you're pounding Bibles and you're scaring people and all this other junk. That doesn't work. It never really worked. You don't keep people engaged in faith by scaring them. You build relationship with people, and that's what God is ultimately always is interested in, is building relationship with us. This is the whole idea of shalom and the imago Dei and the image of God, all these type of things, loving neighbor and loving God, all of it goes together. And that's a very foundational part of evangelism.
True. Now, I noticed you were using the word doing a lot, and that's key to what we're doing in this course. You're not going to sit and just hear us send wisdom into the ether across the internet, nor are you just going to read books and papers, although there will be some of that, but there's a lot of doing and getting involved, because the best way to be equipped for anything is to learn by doing. And so a lot of this course is about doing, and our supporting you while you do, and you get to choose what you're really passionate about. But having said that, we're also going to be teaching you with movies and panel discussions, and we have all sorts of really cool stuff laid on for you.
Yeah, so it's going to be really hands-on for folks, and I look forward to the conversations that are going to come out of this course, the relationships that are built. I'm really interested to hear the type of issues that people really care about and are passionate about. And then there's a project at the end, which will build over the course of the entire course, where you're gonna take all the things that you're learning and you're gonna apply those things on that issue that you really care about, and integrate faith with that issue in a very in a way that has a public impact. And again, we're not trying to scare people. You know, we're not calling everybody to go out and create a protest or anything like this. This can take a variety of different shapes. And that's really going to be up to the people who are taking the course, as far as what are they gifted in? What communities are they already connected with? This isn't a start from scratch type of thing and recreate the wheel either. This is taking what's already there. It's the idea that God has already given us everything that we need in order to go out and do things and to live the faith. And so this is taking what we're learning, taking what we're already equipped with, and taking what community that we're a part of, and putting that all together and saying, okay, here, let's see what we can do with this. So I'm really excited about seeing how those play out.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really looking forward to this journey with Matthew. So do join us. It's going to be an exciting course. If you have any questions, contact Marsha, and any specific questions, she'll forward them to us. So we look forward to seeing you in Living Evangelism.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Sign up for the course and tell your friends.